Hi, these are my small trees. Today I'm gonna show you how I maintain my small trees. So for example, this one. This is a Green Island ficus and it has a very thick trunk. Okay, so it is quite. It looks like it's impossible to grow this in this large pot. But what I actually do this in order to grow its thick trunk is to put them in this sand. This is sand and it has drainage. So when I place it here, this can either escape roots from the drainage hole, or for example in this one there's a big root which escaped from here over the lid of the pot and grew here. So, and I have left this quite a long time, so it has grown a large root from here and supplied everything here, and there was a large branch also growing up, which also I allowed, and you can see that there are large cuts for the branches, and I cut them off so that this will still look small. So I cut off this large branch going up. Here's another cut, and here's another. But this one is also root. So a root was going down to this, and here to this. So that's how I maintain my pots, because all of my bonsais are big, and we water them indiscriminately. Such that sometimes this is just placed in a corner and left. Then over time, when I'm not so busy, then I took care of this. So just like now, here is the boogie, the small boogie which I have already shown. Okay. So basically the same principle like that, and sometimes this boogie will escape its roots there, and to maintain its small configuration, I cut it off, then put it again, then put this out to the sun. Here's another one which has a big cut here because there was a branch growing up here and it eventually thickened the trunk. Then I remove it to maintain its size, the small size, and again I place it in this basin. See, this is choker. You can use ordinary soil as long as you will have something which can cool this down, cool the plant down. Otherwise, if you put it in concrete, supposing you have a concrete stand, then it will the sun is shining up, and also the heat is coming from the pavement or from that concrete stand, and it will easily dry this off. So this one, if you have like this, so it's cool, and you have the plant has something to escape upon, and so this is how I maintain them. So you have large branches, so supposing you have branches, you just leave them off, and then the plant will eventually create a large trunk like this one. So this one and this one, very phenomenal that this is a large trunk, this one is a large trunk as well. So now what I am going to do is, what needs to be done here is to defoliate this. We need to defoliate this so that it will ramify its twigs. So after growing the trunk, the next thing is to create nice branches. So the thing is to defoliate it. Okay, so when defoliating, I use scissors in order not to damage the buds that are sitting at the base of the leaf. So for example, this one, so I'll remove this first. Okay, I defoliate it like that. including the fruits, but I will remove the fruits later. So but not cutting the tip, just the leaves. So putting them on parade to give you a focus. So for example, this one, and then this one, and then the boogie. That's it. Okay, here's another one, which is also, it has already a big trunk and it's small stature, and if you can see, here are very large cuttings previously, but it has sort of healed already, so you cannot see it. But these are the cuts from this one, large cuts. This one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cuts in all. So you will notice that this has already grown large branches, and then I cut it back down to this size. So you will retain the trunk, which is this is the feature of this bonsai. It has large trunks in small parts. So if you want to imagine more, or I'll take this out first so that you can focus on this. Okay, so this is how it looks, and if you see, if you can read this, I don't think you can read this, but anyway, this is a tape measure. So the height is from the tip of the rim, it's just about, so it's there, it's about 6 inches tall. So that's measured from the tip of the rim, because this is semi-cascade. Actually, you can still wire this down to a cascade eventually, but I still need to grow it here. So that's it. So I don't think we need to make a 360. So if you can, so just scale this down with this short hand scissor. So okay, maybe so to make this, to turn this around, that's it. Okay, so that is still a green island ficus. That plastic basin where there is sun is, sometimes it's ugly. Some people find it ugly there in their garden. So one alternative is that put it in wood, like this one, so that it will not be very hot from the concrete. So if you have a wooden stand, it will look much better. So, but this one has deep soil, so it doesn't need so much to have that escape basin. So this is one way that I do in order not to burn the small plants under the sun. So okay, so this is the wooden, this is the wood that I place over the concrete, and so it prevents the heat from the concrete going to this Small plant. Okay, this one is a Barbados cherry, or we call this crab apple, but it's not exactly crab apple, but the fruits look like apple, so that's why we call this crab apple. But somebody told me it's not crab apple, it's Barbados cherry. So still again, I still, even at this pot which is quite large already, I still place them in that basin. So you see the watermarks. So still in the basin, or maybe you can use a shallower basin, an install. So if you can find a sort of already a tray. So I'll focus on the fruit so you can see. So I'm looking for the fruit. So the fruit is still green, so I cannot. By the way, where is it? It's here. Can you see it? Here. And we still have. Let's see if we can. There. So I think this is a better view. So eventually the fruit will turn red. That's why we call this crab apple. See, it's still green, but eventually it will turn red. Unfortunately, I have no red ones here now. So that's the Barbados cherry, part of my small plant collection. This is a shoe in size. So again, if we measure, it's about, it's not taller. So 12 is 12. So we measure from the tip or the brim. So it's about 15 inches. 15 inches tall. So it's a scale. So this is how large. Now this one is a Fukien tea. Fukien, F-U-K-I-E-N, Fukien tea. So I planted this when this was still a very small cutting on this rock, and now it has overgrown its rock. It is much larger. So this was about 6 years old. 6 years old in this rock and pot. So it has now overgrown its. The rock looks very much smaller. And I like this Fukien tea because it is very hardy. You can put it inside and for 3 to 5 days and still not dropping its leaves. But as soon as my plant drops its leaves, start to drop its leaves, I put them out back to the sun. I ease them out gradually back to the sun. So this is part of my small plants collection, Fukien tea. Then I still have many cuttings which I just planted in the ground, but they're not yet formed and they don't look like bonsais yet. Here is how they look now. All bulb. So first focus is the boogie. Now I did not cut the tips because I'm still growing these branches. I haven't wired this never, even once. So, but I will eventually wire them when I will be shaping. Probably this branch and this branch and that branch, and probably, but it looks like this is dead, but maybe I can put it here. So you will, one feature of this is that this has very large trunk relative to its size. It's an overall plant, as an overall plant. So in a very small container, so let's measure. It's just about 4 inch, 5 inch, 5 by 5, measure it here, 5 by 4. Yes, it's 5 by 4 inches. So in a very small pot, and you have a unique tree. So if you are not, comfortable with putting that in a basin with sand to maintain, you have to once in a while dip that in water in order for it to thrive. Okay, so that to ensure that especially when you have small sizes, the sand tends to get. So you get a basin. For example, here, see, here is a basin, so I dip it in, and for about 5 minutes. So it's there for about 5 minutes. So we ensure that water comes from the top or from the drainage zone and goes up. So after 5 minutes, you can put it back to where you usually put them. Okay, next in focus is supposedly this yellow one. Okay, if you notice, it has fruits already, so it's old. That's a sign of its oldness. So this one also, but right now I have defoliated it in order to increase its ramification. So fruits is a load. Actually, it demands a lot of energy. So I just rub them off. I need to remove them so that it will create. Anyway, it will still bear fruit in the future. So although it's a shame, right now I just rub them off, remove all the fruits. Okay, so this would now focus its energy to growing more branches. Then eventually, I haven't wired this ever since, but eventually I will wire them once this branches or twigs grows stronger. So this one too, the fruits will have to go. Sorry for that. Okay. And save their energy for ramification growth. So this one. So the stalk, you can even just, so if you notice the tip, there are growth which I leave. So to focus on that. See, those are the tips. See here again. See, here is a growth there, also on the other side. So those are the small plants, and now they're going back to the. Okay, so now they are in their places. The small ones. See, that's the Green Island ficus. That's the bougainvillea, and that's these are the two Green Island which I have also, So I still have other small ones. That's a Japanese Bushido, and this one is the Barbados cherry. This one is the Fukien tea, and I still have other small ones which I did not show now. I did not show in the camera. So basically that's the small ones. And we have this literary premna. Actually this hunted material, but this is the root part. We plant this inverted, so the root part has grown a branch like this one. Okay. And then created that foliage. We have wired that branch, of course, to be in that unique position. So this one is I forgot the name of this, Chinese elm. No, not Chinese elm, because this bears white flower. And this is the forest premna, small one. Still, I am still putting a tray with sun and has drainage, and that's back to the green island. This is another forest planting. Okay, I placed this in wood. That's a wild lemon. Okay, another green island, which I just trimmed. Okay. And those are the small ones. If you notice, if you're not careful, if you have small bonsais, notice that how easily these small ones can be neglected if you have so many large giant ones to tend to, like these ones. Okay. Okay, that's my garden. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and hope this was helpful.